What's up, guys? This is Coach Lee coming at you with today's mobility workout. Today we're going to really focus on those quads, some hip extension, and then getting into some of our glute work. Now we're going to kick it off with some foam rolling. I'm going to go about a minute or so on each leg. Today I've got this Hyper Ice Venom 2.0, which is sweet because it actually adds vibration into that foam roller. But any foam roller will do. So what we're going to do is we're going to work from the knee. We're going to come up the quad, right in the center of the quad. Once we get it into that hip crease, we're going to rotate and come down at 45 degrees. So like I said, about a minute on each leg. You're going to need a foam roller. After we do some foam rolling, I'm going to use a bench. You guys could use a chair or even a wall, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later. All right? So let's go ahead, get your foam roller. I'm going to work through these with you, so that way you have somebody to do this together and keep you on time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start on my left side. It doesn't matter which one you start on, but I'm only hitting one leg. Now, I'm going to be using this vibration. Will make me sound like a robot, but just stay with me. All right? So we're going to start right at the knee. You're going to keep the foam roller stationary as you bring that heel towards the butt. 3 to 5 reps. Then we're going to move up an inch or two and do it again. Now, when you guys are foam rolling here, if you guys find a sticky spot or a place that hurts a little bit more, go ahead and get a few more reps there. If it feels really good, just get 3 and move on. Like I said, we're going all the way up into that hip crease. And then we're going to do the really fun part by coming back down at 45 degrees. You're going to do the same thing, 1 to 2 inches at a time. All the way until you get right above that knee. All right, so that's about a minute. We're going to switch, go to the other side. Again, starting right above that knee. 3 to 5. Move up an inch or 2. Repeat. So for those of you who usually just kind of roll back and forth on the foam roller, this is going to be a lot more effective way of foam rolling. So I'm actually applying pressure and then causing that tissue to extend and glide underneath the foam roller. All right, let's go ahead and rotate to 45 degrees. Some of you might be breaking a sweat, and that's okay. All the way to the top of that knee. All right. So you can go ahead and put the foam roller up. Now that we've kind of warmed up that tissue, we're going to get into the front hip and that quad with the couch stretch. So today I've got a bench. I'm going to put my foot up on the back, and then I'm trying to get everything stacked. So my shoulders are over my hip, over my knee. Now, if you're in this position right now and you feel like you're arching, go ahead and move your knee away from the wall or whatever you have your foot on. That'll give you a little bit more relief. Once we're in this position, we're going to tilt our belly button towards our sternum. Okay, so I'm rotating that pelvis back. You should feel an immediate stretch along the front side of the thigh into that hip flexor if you haven't already. Now we've been in this stretch for about a minute. We're going to go ahead and stay in here for one more. Now all of this stuff that we're going through in these mobility videos, if something feels really good, feel free to go back after the video and do a little bit more of it. For most of our stretches, we'll be holding for at least 2 minutes. If you want to get a little bit more stretch, you can actually squeeze and come forward, hold for 5, and then come back to that neutral position. Got about 20 seconds left here on this side, and then we'll switch. All right, let's carefully come out of this. We're going to go ahead, switch. As we get into these videos, you're going to start realizing where your asymmetries are, which sides are tighter, and that's okay. Once we've identified that, then we can go attack those. So same thing, find that nice stacked position. Remember, everything is stacked. Trying to get that pelvis so the water is falling out the back, or thinking about getting your belly button closer to your sternum. I want you to think about when we hold this type of long stretch, we want to focus on our breath. So really taking inhales through the nose, and they're going to blow out the mouth like you're blowing up a balloon. Okay, so big inhales, big exhales. Got about a minute left in this position. I'll talk to you a little bit more about these mobility videos and the whole reason behind adding. You know, we used to have endurability, and, you know, with COVID and space requirements, that's kind of gone away. So now we want to make sure that we're giving you guys some mobility work that you guys can do daily, specific to the workouts that you're seeing in the lab. If you guys have any questions or comments, especially when we first launch these videos, please let a coach know, and we will try to get those answered as soon as possible. Got about 10 seconds. And rest. All right, so you guys should already feel some relief in the quads and in the hip flexor. When you guys get up and walk around, things should start feeling looser, all right? So now we're going to get into the 90-90 position, and we're going to start off by just finding a good 90-90. So I want to think about my femur coming straight out, and my front shin is going to be at 90 degrees or parallel. If you're on a mat, you guys can just kind of line these up. So my femur parallel with the side, my shin parallel with the front of the mat, and then I'm going to match. So this back femur parallel with my front shin. I'm just going to bring this back leg out parallel to my femur, or the edge of the mat. So we're going to rotate and we're going to work on some external hip or hip capsule mobility. So what I want you guys to think about is not folding over the actual knee. I want you guys to try to bring the belly button over the knee. So just do that, and I want you to feel the difference. Like here, that's a pretty easy position for me to get in. But if I start bringing that belly button forward, I'm trying to actually pick this back hip, almost peel it off the mat. Now, hopefully you're feeling that stretch deep into the hip. That's what we're going after. So again, I want to go back to that breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. This kind of triggers your parasympathetic to say, hey, I'm okay. Don't fight. We're going to get into a big stretch here, and then we're going to go into what we call pills and rails. Let's get one more big breath in. And we're going to go through our first pails and rail. So what I want you to think about is we're going to start pressing our front shin into the mat. And I want you to think about building that tension gradually. And I'll talk you through it about a 0 to 10 scale. Once we're through the press or the pail, what we're going to do when we release is we're actually going to try to pull ourselves using our hip, pull our chest further into the stretch. Then we'll go back to some relaxed breathing. We're going to do this for 3 cycles. All right? So go ahead, find that end range where you felt like it was a really good stretch. Take a big inhale. Exhale, let's start pressing that front shin into the mat. About a 3 out of 10. Let's start building 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's relax, but don't lean back. Pull yourself deeper into the stretch. Okay, go back to nice, relaxed breathing. Try to get your body from fighting. All right, let's get ready for our second cycle. So we're going to start pressing through that front shin at a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. And then relax. Pull yourself deeper into that stretch. All right, we're back to our relaxed breathing. All right, we're getting ready for our last cycle. Let's start driving that shin into the mat at a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Relax and pull ourselves deeper into that stretch. So this should be the deepest stretch that you've been in. Really feeling it in the back of that hip. And we're breathing here. Let's give one more deep breath in through the nose. Exhale. And then to come out of this position, we're actually going to push through the shin and sit up. All right. From this position, we're going to bring our back knee up. I want you to think about pressing through this front knee and trying to get this knee as high as possible. I want you to think there's like $100 bill under this knee. You're not going to let anybody take it. We're going to do 2 more. So on this next one, we're going to come up as high as we can. Go ahead and release that front knee. We're going to rotate into a good 90-90 position. Now again, you're going to feel one side's tighter than the other, and that's okay. All right, so we're going to do the same thing as we did on the other side. Remember, I'm bringing that belly button over the knee. So we're going to get into that stretch. Again, we're really aiming for the back of that hip. Get into that relaxed breathing. All right, now let's go through our first cycle. Remember, driving through this shin, equal pressure from knee to foot. Let's dial it up. 3, 5, 7, 9, hold. As we release, we're pulling ourselves deeper into that stretch. We're going back to our relaxed breathing. Big inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let's get ready for that second cycle. Let's start driving through at a 3, 5, 7, 9, hold. Release the pressure. Pull yourself deeper into that stretch. Go back to your relaxed breathing. Let's get ready for that last cycle. Let's start building that pressure into the mat. 3, 5, 7, 9, hold. Release and pull yourself deeper. So this is the biggest stretch that we'll have on the hip. Start that relaxed breathing. Try to relax that tissue. It's telling you you can't go any further. All right, now carefully, we're going to push through this front shin and come up to vertical, or as near vertical as you can get. We're going to start pressing through this front knee. We're going to do some lift-offs with the back knee. So driving that front knee in, going to get your back knee as high off the mat as you can. And rotate onto that heel. Remember, you've got $100 bill under this front knee. You do not want somebody to grab it. All right, last one. High as possible. Let this front knee come up. Then you can do some rotations back and forth. Kind of get those Hips moving again. Everything should be feeling looser. Feel like you've got a lot more movement in those hips. So again, just to close on today, focus on the quad, hip extension, and that hip capsule. This is great for any leg day, squat day, just like you guys had today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you soon.